really getting difficult to keep track of the rhetoric and hyperbole emanating from the federal government. Just a few days ago, the Foreign Affairs Minister, Chrystia Freeland, was in New York City to give a speech to the United Nations in which she said that white supremacism and Islamophobia were among the gravest threats to the world. Really? I'm not sure where she gets the evidence to make that sort of a statement, but that's a pretty strong statement. And then just today, the environmental minister, Catherine McKenna, took to Twitter to tell us that climate change is the most pressing issue of our time. Really? Um, does she and the foreign affairs minister ever talk to each other? Do their staffs not communicate? Does the prime minister's office not manage the message? There's something just highly suspicious about all of that, where everything is a grave threat. And then the prime minister, just to underline it all, flew from Ottawa to Vancouver to take part in the Vaisakhi parade in Surrey, and pander for votes amongst the Sikh community. He then flew back to Ottawa via Saskatchewan, ostensibly for private meetings. He then flew to Kitchener-Waterloo to make an announcement, and then back to Ottawa for a photo op, and then back to Toronto. Then he got back on a plane and flew to the West Coast again to go to Tofino to do some surfing with his wife and kids. This is not a prime minister who practices what he preaches. In fact, if anything, it's more of the "don't do as I do, do as I say" style of leadership from this guy. It's hard to imagine a team of public relations advisor who would advise the prime minister that, yeah, that's a good thing. In the space of just a few days, I want you to fly across the country several times on a private plane paid for by the Canadian taxpayers. I can't imagine that message is easy to smooth, nor would it certainly be in touch with what the environment minister just said today. It's all quite ridiculous with this crew. They preach to us, and they as of April 1st, they put a carbon tax on the bulk of Canada, and expect every one of us to pay more for the natural gas products, the energy products that we're using, be it from gasoline to home heating oil or natural gas. These people are shameless, really, and they need to really do a much better job. If they expect us to pay for all of this, shouldn't they actually be setting a better example? For True North, I'm Leo Knight.